Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Doctor's Notes podcast by Doc's Castle Media, a podcast I created to share the notes of one of my favorite reality shows ever, Big Brother USA. I'm your host, Doc, and I'm here to talk BP perspective from Doc's point of view. So here we go. We're back with another episode of the Doctor's Notes podcast. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This episode is the eviction episode. We are going to see if Felicia or Nicole leaves the house today. Sorry for the delay in getting this. Is actually coming out after the HOH competition. Big Brother has been switching their schedule, and I've been switching my schedule, so my videos might be coming out a little later, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm still trying to give y'all the best recap as possible for Big Brother. Because there's a lot of things that's been going on. This game is really strategic compared to previous seasons. I mean, like, they're really playing this game extra hard this season, and it's entertaining, but at the same time, it's getting kind of tiresome to look at the same time. Like, I'm kind of having a hard time keeping up, and I don't know how anyone who's looking at the live feeds right now is keeping up. I haven't had a Twitter update in probably 2 weeks, and you guys have not even complained. If you guys want any more Twitter updates, please leave comments and let me know, because then I will focus more on trying to get the scoop of what you guys aren't seeing. But I seem to be doing a pretty good job with wrapping up what the show is like from my perspective. So if you guys like that, that's fine too. Just leave your thoughts in the comments below. So basically, we start off the episode with the end of the veto episode. We didn't even know what Cameron did, but he decided to not use the power of veto. That's how we started the episode. And he decided to not use the power of veto, leaving Felicia and Nicole on the block. But there was a blowout between Felicia and Cory during her ceremony speech. Felicia decided to not go down without a fight, so she was deciding to confront Cory in his ways. So she puts it out there that Cory had, I guess, is trying to attempt to flip the vote. So she's putting the knowledge out there, and Cory's just listening, and it just was a mini blowout. Cory's not participating in the way that Felicia wants him to, not answering any questions. So we see America jump in. America jumps in and speaks for Cory. She quickly realizes that speaking up for Cory might be a little bit too far. He's not taking up for her. That's what she says in the diary room, that she's waiting for Prince Charming to show up, but he's pretty much trying to have a private conversation with Felicia. Felicia saying that have a private conversation that leads way for lies, and she wants to have the conversation in front of everyone. It doesn't happen. Cory leaves, and Felicia's left in the room to listen to America with this altercation that happened in the kitchen directly after the veto competition. Nicole is not campaigning against Felicia, so she's going to lay low and hope that she doesn't become the target. So she's not even participating in the argument, and America makes it known that she's not even going to call them to participate in the argument, because for what? For what? She's going on with this lie, saying that her and Cory didn't ask for Nicole and Felicia to join an alliance with them. Instead, they're saying that it was the other way around, trying to paint a target on Felicia so that they won't leave. Of course, Cirie is going to stay out of the way of the vote, and she doesn't want to get involved because no one was there to help Jared, so she's laying low and being quiet at the same time. But that's pretty much the altercation. It looks like it's not really going anywhere. What's funny is it looks like that, but behind the scenes, the vote actually does get flipped in this episode. Cameron tells Cory that Blue is gunning for Cory, which ultimately puts a fire under Cory to start flipping the vote. Whenever he feels as though someone is betraying him, Cory gets a fire under him. We saw this with Jared, so now he's coming after Blue, and he sees that Blue is making him a target, and we all know Blue is making Cory her target because Cory is the reason why Jared is gone, so that's her fire. But either way, it's Cory is creating a fire under himself, And this is what's going to create him to be the MVP player of this episode, because of that fire that he gets from being upset. He's going to take that information to Matt and Jag to try to get the vote to be flipped. Not only is Cory the MVP player when he takes this move, but Cameron is also an MVP player because he takes that knowledge of Blue knowing or trying to make Cory a target, and he uses that information to light a fire in Cory. Both of these people are basically emotionally provoked, or Cory is emotionally provoked. I wouldn't say Cameron is, but Cory is emotionally provoked right now, and Cameron is using that to his advantage. Both of them are using something to their advantage, some information to their advantage in order to flip this vote this week. Meanwhile, Felicia's going around to everyone saying that she will be the one to make the move to get Cory out of the house. Everyone seemed to be afraid to get Cory, so that's working as her favor right now because everyone's deciding not to really focus on trying to get Cory out this week. It's a little bit too early for them, but everyone's also working with Cory, so that it makes it hard. So the pitch for Felicia to stay is looking good to anyone who isn't working with Cory, which seems to be only Suri right now. Everyone else is working with Cory. In the meantime, Cory goes to Jag and Matt in America and discuss the fate of Felicia and Mimi's game together, deciding that it might be best for them to flip the vote because Nicole is closer to winning an HOH than it is for Felicia. In the veto competition, she came very close to beating Cam to win that veto and saving herself. When they see little strides like that in Nicole, she looks like a danger. She's a target. So, of course, they're going to use that to their advantage and seeing that she is a possible target because she could win. When she's getting closer to win, it's time to get her out. So, why not flip the vote? And if she's saying for Jag and Matt, the Minutemen, to hear about these talks that Felicia might go after Cory, that's working in Jag and Matt's favor in secret. It's also working in Cameron's favor. No one's really willing to really go out there after Felicia. I feel like the only one that has the guts that's in that house right now to go after Cory is Cameron. And Cory is working very hard to keep his relationship with Cameron at a steady pace, good. He goes and talks to him even when it's uncomfortable. He talks to Cameron. So he's trying to work very hard to keep his relationship. Cameron might be a little hesitant to putting Cory on the block as well. So Felicia is a benefit to having. Definitely. Over Nicole. No one really knows where Nicole stands. She doesn't really talk too much gameplay. And why keep someone in the house like that when Felicia is willingly telling them her stance, what she's going to do? So, of course, Jag and Matt are intrigued with the idea of keeping Felicia there over Mimi because, and Cory's in favor of it. They're very excited because secretly they want Felicia to go after Cory. Ultimately, Cory wants to keep Felicia in hopes to make Blue a target. If they flip the vote, they are hoping that it'll be at least probably 2 people that is going to be singled out in voting out Nicole. So those 2 people that are singled out will be the target. It'll wind up being like someone like Suri and what they say? I think they said Blue. They will put Blue as the target as well. So if they're being singled out, he pitches that the idea of Mimi is more likely to win. So let's just go on with Felicia. So when it comes down to the vote, we see that the vote was actually, it ended up being Nicole 7-0, a unanimous vote. She doesn't look surprised. So we don't really know what was in the talks hours before this eviction. The flip was successful though, because Nicole wound up leaving when she was laying low. And when she left the house, she left out with a bang because she sat and reveal Cory America's game. She does not hug Cory when she leaves the house for goodbyes, and she throws out to everyone Game's plan before she leaves the door. She left bitterly, and she was upset. She's not in the jury house, and when she leaves, in her exit interview, Julie reveals to her that Jared and Suri are family. So, of course, we know that Nicole is definitely not going to the jury house with that information, and she is surprised that she did not assume that they were related to each other. So, again, it was a surprise. The flip was successful, and then we immediately go to the HOH competition after. The HOH competition is a usual competition. It was a picture competition. The pictures that they show them in the house on the memory wall, and they have to kind of memorize those pictures. And when the HOH competition comes up, it's usually a true or false competition. So in the true or false questions, everyone participated except for Cameron because he's the outgoing HOH. And when it got to the final two was surprisingly to me Bowie, Jane, and Felicia. So they kind of made a mistake with leaving Felicia in because she came pretty close. But Bowie Jane won, and we really don't know where Bowie Jane is standing in this competition. I don't even think she would have any diary room sections in the last episode. So like we don't even know what Bowie Jane thinks. This is the first time we're really going to get some insight on what she really wants to go on in the HOH house. In the Big Brother house, and for her HOH. It's going to be interesting. I thought she would be working with Cameron this whole time, but we really don't know who she's working with because Cameron hasn't really been doing any talks with her. We haven't seen that revealed in any of his HOHs or any of the episodes that he's reigned for this entire week. I haven't really seen him talk to Bowie Jane at all. So where does she stand? Who does she play with? Who she's going to put on the block? We don't know. And it's crazy because I've been trying to watch the Twitter feeds, but I'm not really interested in watching Twitter, so I don't have any Twitter updates for you for that. Bowie Jane won the competition, and it's really going to be a surprise for me on the Sunday night episode to see how her week goes. Now, for me to talk alliances, I don't really care to talk too much alliances. There weren't that many alliances that were brought up in the episode. There weren't really many alliances that were brought up this week. We know that Jag and Matt are the Minutemen, and they seem to work well with each other, and they're still working with Cory in America, and they seem to still be working with Blue. And all their alliances are intertwining for real. So they still reign supreme. We don't know too much of what happened before the eviction. So when I come on to the next episode, I hope that we see some more insight on why Nicole is gone. Because we know that the Felicia and Nicole alliance is definitely gone. It's definitely broken up. Felicia doesn't have a final two. She's alone in this house, and she's most likely to leave too now. So there's that. I know a new alliance that might appear is whoever that Bowie Jane is working with. In the next episode, we'll learn that Bowie Jane will have an alliance at that point. She'll be creating one. And will people be loyal to her? Will she have an allegiance to her? We don't know. Bowie Jane is about to show us some gameplay here. One alliance that I do want to bring up that is absolutely obsolete is the Bye Bye Bitches. And we know that the people that are gone out of the Bye Bye Bitches is definitely Nicole. So we have Bowie Jane and Felicia and Suri that still exist from the Bye Bye Bitches. Will they be turned on? I'm pretty sure. Bowie Jane has already known that she knows that that alliance is not true anymore. So to see that play out, that could be interesting. That's so old and gone and done with. We'll see if it reigns true. And obviously, I already know that it doesn't. I had so much faith in it at the beginning of the game, but all of that stuff that transpires has caused this to look like that doesn't matter no more. And it definitely doesn't. Anyway, to recap the episode, basically, we went over who we thought the MVP players of this episode was, which is Cory and Cameron, because they took information to flip the vote from Felicia to Nicole. We don't know the details of how that happened, but it worked. They basically flipped the vote, and now Nicole is gone. And Nicole was mad enough to try to out Cory. It worked. It worked. And she was upset. We talked about the HOH competition. We talked about Nicole leaving. We talked about the alliances that exist currently in the house and how they are intertwining. And honestly, I think I want to end this episode saying that Cory might want to watch his back. He's becoming very, very dangerous to a lot of people, and he also is in a showmance. Like, showmances they're powerful when you got people that can win. But America hasn't won a competition, I don't believe, and it's not looking good for them, because if they can't win, they aren't going to be strong enough to continue playing. Cory's looking like a target. He's looking like a target, but not more so for Bowie Jane. But in the future, he definitely is looking like a target. Felicia is still there now. She has a possibility of maybe, going to the jury house. Who knows? They were trying to get her out, but she's still there. We still got one person that we need to get out before jury, and then after that, it's all everyone's stuck in there, and they're just there to finish out the game. We'll see. Either way, we talked about that. We talked about Bowie Jane's win. Yeah. Everything is copacetic. We'll see what happens on Sunday night's episode, everyone. But that was the Doctor's Notes podcast, everyone. And I want to wrap this episode up by telling you guys I hope you have a wonderful week ahead of you. And peace out. Thank you so much for tuning into the Doctor's Notes podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you found value in what you heard today, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. For more updates and Doc's Castle content, follow me on my social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Doc's Castle. If you have any questions, suggestions, or topics that you'd like to cover in future episodes, feel free to reach out to me via email at docscastlemediainfo@gmail.com. Remember, your support means the world to me, and I'm grateful to have you as a listener. But until next time, peace out.